to the Tasmanian 1997 Young Australian of the Year Awards. And now we introduce Southern Cross Television's Kaye Wilkinson.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great honour to welcome you tonight on behalf of the Australia Day Council to the 1997 Tasmanian Young Australian of the Year Awards. Our first category for this evening is the Unilever Environment Award.
All of us are aware that the development of our country has to be environmentally responsible. Our unique ecology must be conserved and our resources used wisely. Never before has the encouragement of young Australians working hard to improve our knowledge of the environment been more important. Young men and women whose projects will expand the knowledge to protect our resources and conserve our delicate ecosystems of flora and fauna for future generations. The Unilever Environment Award seeks to recognise young Australians whose work involves wise resource use and environmental care. It is a reward for them helping to improve our quality of life in an environmentally sound and socially responsible manner.
Nominee, Desiree Mazzaros. After completing high school in 1987, Desiree Mazzaros decided to pursue a career in graphic design. This was not to last.
Many years ago, I received a very large exposure to industrial solvents, and that brought my awareness to the effects chemicals have on people.
Desiree is now undertaking a PhD in the Department of Geography and Environmental Studies at the University of Tasmania, as well as running consultancy on how to build chemically free buildings.
The main aim of it is to find more knowledge about how chemicals affect people, specifically in the indoor environment.
Helping people with her advice or certain aspects of their indoor environment and knowing she has made their life more comfortable is the highlight of Desiree's achievements.
Ladies and gentlemen, Desiree Mazzaros. Lovely. So Desiree, why is research into indoor air quality an important environmental issue?
Well, we spend anywhere between 70 to 90% of our time indoors, therefore the indoor environment is particularly important. Research into sources of pollution and methods of amelioration, such as safer building materials, are all factors that can benefit the entire environmental system. It is not just focused on the indoor environment.
And are people becoming more aware of that these days?
Oh, undoubtedly so, because so many people are getting ill from the indoor environment that it increases their awareness. Yes, definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Desiree Mazzaros.
Thank you.
Nominee, Michael Paxton. For the past 11 years, 21-year-old Michael Paxton has lived, worked, studied and played in Tasmania's coastal waters. He has seen firsthand the marine pollution caused by neglect.
Well, about 5 years ago, I got sick literally of surfing in polluted water, and I decided to do something about it. I started to talk to people about pollution problems, and once I started to put my feelers out, I found a lot of other people who cared about the ocean just as much as I did and wanted to do something about it, but didn't know what to do.
Michael is now president of the Surf Rider Foundation, the environment officer at university, and the founder of a number of coast care groups, and believes everyone can make a difference by working together.
I think I want to leave behind a legacy of people who know how to deal with their local problems, and that those people can then go on and teach others.
Michael Paxton. Michael, what's been the main focus in your efforts to reduce pollution in our waterways?
I'd say the main focus I've had is trying to empower people to make a difference themselves rather than do the problem myself. I feel that with the environmental crisis the world's facing, so many people feel like the extent of the problems are so big that they cannot make a difference. And I'm basically trying to teach people that if everyone does make an attempt to do something, if we join together, then we can make that difference that needs to be made. The Surf Rider Foundation has allowed me to provide a focus point for community concern, and sort of direct that community concern in a positive way so that we can make a difference. And when a lot of people that come together that are passionate about their environment, we can achieve big things, and we're certainly starting to now.
So all for one, one for all.
Definitely.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Michael, for the certificate.
There you go. Yep.
Nominee, Renee Dare. The Resource Work Cooperative Society Limited is a unique organisation in the south of Tasmania, specialising in the field of waste minimisation. Renee Dare was 18 when she and others formed the society 4 years ago.
Having an opportunity to contribute directly, and because I work on site and I can see my customers, I can see them benefiting from reuse as well, and lots of positive comments towards us, so they're the best things about the job.
To see the tip shops become larger and have 100% waste deferral in Tasmania and Australia is Renee's lifelong dream.
I'd say the major influence in terms of the work that I do would have to be Gandhi. He spent a whole lifetime dedicated to changing an entire nation of millions and millions of people through truth, action of truth, so he would be my biggest influence.
Ladies and gentlemen, Renee Dare. Good on you.
Thank you.
So what do you think you and your cooperative can do to benefit the Greater Hobart area?
I think that there's lots that we can do, but in the immediate sense, we actually create an opportunity for young environmentalists to be employed in the field, and we are self-funded, so you're not reliant upon government funding or local government funding or state funding, so we have a lot of will and a lot of scope to express our aims and ideals for the future of Tasmania and basically the future of the world.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
And, wait a minute. There you go. I want to see you later. Now to announce the winner of the Unilever Environment Award, I'd like to welcome our patron representative, Mr. Gary West, Public Affairs Manager for Unilever Australia. Hello. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Kaye, distinguished guests, to our finalists here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to the organisers, firstly, in allowing Unilever to be the first category here tonight, because it does recognise that we are involved both as a state and as a national award patron for the first time. Unilever, to many of you, may not be known, but it is the name behind many of the household consumer brands that you use, such as Streets Ice Cream, Flora Margarine, Continental soups and sauces, Lipton's Bushels, tea and coffee, Lever Rexona and Lux personal products, just to mention a few. But Unilever, worldwide, is committed to meeting the needs of its customers and consumers in an environmentally sound and sustainable manner through continuous improvement in environmental protection and resource conservation. This commitment, though, extends beyond that and extends to encouraging others in helping to provide answers in improving our environment. And I'm sure all of you would agree that our three finalists here tonight, Renee, Desiree and Michael, have all, as their part, been able to communicate through a commitment both their message for change and to their community, and in providing the answers to their community. Tasmanians, and indeed all Australians, can be very, very proud of these talented young people. And ladies and gentlemen, the time I know they and their friends and families are indeed waiting for is to know who is the state winner. And the winner is Michael Paxton. Michael. Michael, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Worthy winner. I'm sure you'd like to say a few words.
I'd first of all like to thank Unilever for their support of this this award, but I think above that I'd like to thank all the people that helped me get here. It certainly wasn't a solo effort. A lot of people did the behind-the-scenes work that got me where I am now. Family and friends and all the Ocean Care Day committee. It was great to have their support, and hopefully some people here will come along to Ocean Care Day tomorrow at Clifton Beach. And yeah, just remember that there are a lot of impacts that we have on our environment that not many people realise. So if everyone starts to think a bit more about what they're doing, then we can make this world a better place. Thanks very much.
There's an old saying, it's not what you do, but how you do it. And doing things at the highest level is what typifies the nominees in this category. Department of Employment, Education, Training and Youth Affairs Career Achievement Award, initiative, creative thinking, entrepreneurial flair and decisive action are the attributes most common found with so many of our young career people. These young achievers may be working successfully as team members of large corporations. They may own or run a small business. Their accomplishments may be measured by the results they've achieved. This award recognises the pursuit of excellence in the workplace and focuses attention on those who are making a mark through positive achievement in their chosen career.
Nominee, Paul McKercher. At 27 years of age, Paul McKercher is the owner-operator of the Tasmanian refrigerated food business, Tascool.
I used to work in the wholesale industry, in the same kind of business, and a few things changed, and the job looked like the job I had was in jeopardy, so I decided to take it on myself and do deliveries, and started from there.
Covering Tasmania, Tascool employs 8 people, all working well as a team. Paul believes communication is the key.
A major influence in my life, really, my father helps me a great deal in the business, and ever since I've been growing up as a boy, he's always worked for himself, and I've just always seen that, and it's been a great influence to me.
Paul constantly keeps up with the latest progressions in the food industry and aims to meet his customers' individual needs, ensuring that he will be their first choice when choosing someone to deliver their produce and goods.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul McKercher. So what was the greatest obstacle in creating your refrigeration business?
There's a lot of obstacles, but I think the hardest one was getting the financial backing, getting someone to believe that the dream you had, would work, and just to get them to give you a hand to do that. That's the hardest.
And so how did you accomplish that?
It took about a year and a half, just going to different banks and things, trying to get people to support, and just telling what we wanted to do. It was fairly hard, but eventually we found one, and they said, yeah, we'll give it a go.
And you showed them what you made of?
Yep, we did it.
Thanks very much, Paul.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Good on you.
Nominee, Clint Saranen. In 1988, the young and enthusiastic Clint Saranen decided a career as an Army officer was one of the best ways to gain management and leadership skills. Now 27 years old, he is a commissioned officer with the rank of captain within the Army Reserve and a management consultant with KPMG Management Consulting, Tasmania.
The most enjoyable aspect I would find about consulting work is being able to get out in businesses across the state and make a difference.
Clint believes he has gained confidence and discipline from being involved in the military.
Personal rewards of having to train people and see them come from being young recruits right through to being graduates that go out into the military as either officers or soldiers.
Don't wait for opportunities to come knocking on your door. Go out and create them, is Clint's message to young people of today.
Would you please welcome Clint Saranen. Good to meet you. Tell me, what motivated you to change from the Army into KPMG consultancy?
Well, Kay, I enjoyed thoroughly my relatively short career in the Army, in the regular Army, and I do believe that it's one of the best training grounds for gaining and developing practical management and leadership skills. However, after completing my degree here in Tasmania, I realised that there was a broader range of opportunities available within the private sector, and one of those opportunities was working as a management consultant for KPMG.
Fantastic. So it's all working well.
It certainly is.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Take your award with you.
Nominee, Kirsten Mann. As Technology Coordinator with National Accounting and Auditing Services within Ernst & Young, Kirsten Mann's responsibilities are varied.
My chosen field specifically is multimedia. I'm a generalist computer specialist, and so generally I work with computers. I take training for anything to do with computers, basically. We develop software, develop databases for the firm.
Seeing Kirsten's potential and dedication to the firm, Ernst & Young have arranged to send her on secondment for 6 months in their multimedia unit in Cleveland, USA. They believed Kirsten could achieve anything she applied herself to.
Multimedia involves putting training programs, taking training programs out of a normal training setting and putting it through the computer. So the student is actually having an interactive experience with the computer.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kirsten Mann. Congratulations. Great. How is multimedia going to affect us in the future, Kirsten?
I see interactive multimedia being integrated into our lives as seamlessly as the television and the VCR has. We currently think in sights, sounds and images. When was the last time that you actually thought in paragraphs? We need to start to communicate with the same images that we think in, and this is where multimedia comes in. With multimedia, people will be able to not know how to run a computer. Instead, they'll be provided with inherently obvious tools to navigate through the computer and get their information. It will be very beneficial to our society and very valuable.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Kirsten. Thank you. Good. These are the finalists in the Department of Employment, Education, Training and Youth Affairs Career Achievement Award. And to announce the winner, Senator for Tasmania, the Honourable Brian Gibson.
The Commonwealth Government is proud to be back as a sponsor of these awards. The future is with the young people, and it's up to us, oldies, to recognise what they've achieved, their creativity, their vision, and their determination and their achievements. So the Commonwealth Government, on behalf of through the department, is pleased to be here. The winner is Kirsten Mann. Well done. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Well done, Kirsten.
Thank you. Well, this is an incredible honour. I'd like to firstly thank the organisers of this event, Peter Dale-Hentel and Tina Ross, for a fantastic job that they did here tonight. The sponsors for this award, the Department of Employment, Education, Training and Youth Affairs, my family and friends that have joined me here this evening, Sarah, Jo, Russell, Robin, Nana, Dad, and especially my mum for her enduring patience with me. My employees, Ernst & Young, and specifically the partners I work for, Ruth Picker and David Boymel, for providing me with amazing opportunities and challenges in my work. And finally, I'd just like to give a special thank you to my partner, Rick, for his amazing support and encouragement. Thank you very much.
Hannah's falling for Casper.
Australia is endowed with vast natural resources, but if we are to continue to move from a purely resource-based economy, we must find ways to add value to these assets, and in doing so, create wealth for all Australians. Research and development in science and technology is the key to reaching this objective. The challenge for scientists is both enormous and essential to the future of our nation. Tonight, the Temco Corporation Science and Technology Award encourages young scientists and acknowledges their achievements in this vital field of endeavour.
Nominee, Tom Ibbott. Working with the IEMC during his uni holidays, Tom Ibbott involved himself in the challenging role of researching issues about manufacturing and mounting solar panels. It was due to this position he became directly involved in the INCAT solar boat project.
The main involvement I had was with the solar side of it, being the manufacturing of the solar cells into panels and the array and the electronics from that through to the motor and drive system.
When the solar boat was completed, it was entered in the inaugural Advanced Technology Boat Race on Canberra's Lake Burley Griffin. The boat travelled 70 kilometres during the 6 hours, breaking a series of records and, needless to say, winning the race.
The main thing I've gained, I think, is experience and the opportunity to work on a big project and something that really is the forefront of technology. It's showing that solar-powered boating really is viable.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Ibbott. Nice to meet you. Stand close. So now, what are your plans for this fantastic boat and the future of, say, solar-powered boating?
In the future, it'd be nice to get the boat and set some world records with it, which it's more than capable of doing. And in doing that, that would show the world that INCAT and Tasmania are world leaders in science and technology. That would then lead, hopefully, to seeing some solar and electric boats in recreational use, especially in environmental situations around the world.
So do you think we're going to see the solar car as well?
We'll see the solar boat first.
Okay. Thank you very much, Tom. Good on you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Nominee Sarah Pettibridge is 22 years of age and is currently studying her PhD at the University of Tasmania. Her topic is the study of viral diseases in hops.
Well, I decided to take this career when I suddenly realised that sustainability of world agriculture was based on the needs of science in the 21st century and research towards that.
Sarah believes the key to success has two components. Firstly, to follow your dreams and your heart, and secondly, the need to have dedication.
In the future, I would like to become a plant pathologist as a professional scientific researcher and also play a major role in the education and lecturing of young people in scientific research. There have been two highlights of my career so far. One was obtaining the Wesfarmers Dalgety National Scholarship in Agriculture in Australia, and secondly, discovering the first disease record in pyrethrum of ray blight, a new disease in Tasmania.
Sarah Pettibridge. Hello, Sarah. Nice to meet you. Thank you. So what do you think we'll see as the future use of, say, pyrethrum?
Pyrethrum is a perennial herbaceous plant and is grown for its natural insecticidal properties, of which we call the pyrethrins. Due to the push against the harder insecticides, such as DDT and the like, with their high mammalian toxicity, the need for growth of pyrethrum and the push for its product will magnify into the 21st century.
And there's more farms now concentrating on pyrethrum, aren't there?
Yep.
A great deal, or?
It's at least doubling until the year 2000.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Here you go. Stand over there.
Nominee Andrew Clippingdale. After being awarded first-class honours, Andrew Clippingdale was offered and accepted a postgraduate scholarship from the University of Melbourne.
Well, what I'm studying is the chemistry of Alzheimer's disease. It's in the brains of sufferers of Alzheimer's disease, a protein builds up, and this build-up of protein is actually toxic to brain cells and is thought to be a major contributor to the progression of the disease.
Although uncertain of what the future may hold, Andrew intends to pursue a career in medical research chemistry.
It's very applicable to people. There's a good possibility that the research that I'm doing may actually be of use to someone somewhere down the line.
As well as attaining first-class honours, Andrew received the Elaine Brown Memorial Prize for outstanding proficiency in organic chemistry in Chemistry Honours.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Clippingdale. So how much research is actually going on in Alzheimer's disease?
A huge amount. Alzheimer's is the biggest cause of senile dementia in the world at the present time, and that's why research into it is so important. The chemistry and the pathology of the disease are being studied intensively worldwide, and some of the Australian research is right up there with the very best in the world.
So you're saying that there's quite a worldwide concentration on that research?
Yes, a massive amount of research going on in the field at the moment. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you're going to help that along as well. Thank you, Andrew. take that. And to announce the winner of the BHP Temco Science and Technology Award is Lisa Mees, Public Affairs Coordinator at BHP Temco. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Kaye. Finalists, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Making ferroalloys is a tough, competitive business. To ensure BHP Temco's reputation as a world-class ferroalloy producer, we need to have access to the best professionals in the science and technology field. We strive to be the best and expect nothing less from our professionals. At BHP Temco, we recognise the need to support our future leaders of tomorrow in order to maintain the highest quality product and our competitive future. Sponsoring the Young Australian of the Year Awards is one way in which we can do this. I'm pleased to announce that the Science and Technology winner is Thomas Ibbott. Well done.
I'd just like to thank all the sponsors, BHP Temco, the sponsors of this particular division. I'd also like to thank all the overall sponsors, Qantas, Southern Cross, the Commonwealth Bank and Casino, as well as everyone else that's been involved in organising it, and my parents. But most of all, I'd like to thank International Catamarans for giving me this opportunity, and especially Bob Clifford, Arthur Brown, Steve Thurlow, Martin Meyer and Will Trondle, who worked really hard on the project, and it's just as much theirs as it is mine, with more theirs. So thanks everyone.
The 7 award categories will be presented with a magnificent trophy and a $2,000 Streamline Express account from the Commonwealth Bank. The ultimate winner, the Southern Cross Young Achiever of the Year for Tasmania, receives a Qantas Australian trip for 2 with 5 nights accommodation courtesy of Rest Point Hotel Casino. A further trophy and a $2,000 Streamline Express account from the Commonwealth Bank.
Natural disaster is no stranger to many communities throughout Australia, be it droughts or the devastation of bushfire. The heartbreak and suffering is always immense, but is quelled by a spirit and sense of camaraderie and caring that sweeps across the country. Whether it be helping victims of natural disaster, providing refuge for those suffering social or economic hardship, or supporting others less advantaged than themselves, young Australians are stepping to the forefront. These young people give their time, energy and friendship, serving and supporting others, the elderly, the homeless and the hungry. The Mitre 10 Community Service Award encourages and honours outstanding young individuals who've dedicated themselves to serving the community. Tonight, we recognise their accomplishments and their spirit of giving.
Nominee, Sean Cousins. Sean Cousins is presently completing a Bachelor of Education at the University of Tasmania. Sean is also heavily involved in Kids on Campus, an enrichment program for grades 5 and 6 children.
When I began the Bachelor of Education in 1993, I was interested in the program because they required volunteers, education students, to help out on the day. And I thought, well, I don't know anything about the program, but I'll go along and have a look.
He gained a lot from that day and decided he would eventually become one of the organisers.
Children are never too young to think about what they would like to do.
Sean believes the children of today are our future.
If they've got something that they want to pursue it. Doesn't matter the age.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Cousins. So Sean, where will your energies be focused going on to the year 2000 and say in relation to the children at campus?
Well, the year 2000 is still 4 years ago, but 4 years away, but hopefully I'll still be involved with children, with the community, and as far as Kids on Campus is concerned, I would like to still be involved with with some sort of program which encourages students to come to the university and take part and have a see what the university is about.
Are you finding that there's more interest?
Oh yes, there's plenty of interest, and kids. I mean, they're never too young to have a dream about what they want to do in the future, and so grade 5 and 6 is great.
I can see you'd help them right along. Thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you.
Good.
Nominee, Kelly Farrow. 3.5 years ago, one of Kelly Farrow's friends told her they wanted to kill themselves. She didn't know what to say. She felt useless. Kelly is now 18 years old and is the Director of Youth International Suicide Prevention.
The attitudes towards suicide from a lot of the adults is that young people should not be involved, that makes suicide more dangerous, that people will go out and complete suicide if young people go and complete suicide if they talk about it or if they talk to about it. This is wrong. Most I'm getting out of the work that I'm doing would be knowing that somewhere I've saved at least one life. One life is worth more than any time I could put into this. Any time that any money, any amount of money or time or effort, one life is worth way more than that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kelly Farrow. Okay. Now, Kelly, you're organising an international conference for young people on youth suicide. What do you hope that conference will achieve?
Young people are having to deal with suicide of not only themselves but their friends and their classmates. They have many ideas and initiatives on what needs to be done, but they are not being asked and they are not being listened to when they cry out for help. Thus the conference name, If You Can Hear Me, Why Won't You Listen? This conference is giving a chance for young people to talk about suicide. We just hope the community will listen.
I'm sure they will. You've done a fantastic job. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Nominee, Bonita Beattie. The Richmond Fellowship is a non-government organisation providing support accommodation for people with psychiatric disabilities between the ages of 18 and 35. 24-year-old Bonita Beattie is a valuable member of the team, working as a community support officer.
I started my social work degree at what was then TSIT in 1990, and it wasn't until I did my first fieldwork placement that I realised that I liked social work. I liked working with people, I liked supporting people through difficult times, and most of all I liked sharing people's victories and achieving their goals.
Bonita believes what you put into life is what you get back and enjoys working as a team. And Bonita's view of people with mental illness...
They're just an everyday human being that perhaps has some difficulties in some areas.
Bonita Beattie. Okay. So how do you think what you do affects our greater community?
Right, well, the work that I do and the work of Richmond Fellowships affects the community in many ways. We believe that we're helping to break down the barriers of stigma by being part of the community. It is essential that people learn about mental illness and it's not something to be fearful of. And what better place to do this in our own neighbourhoods.
Thank you very, very much. Bonita, thank you. Okay. Now to announce the winner of the Mitre 10 Community Service Award, would you please welcome Mr. Peter Geard, Divisional Manager of K&D Warehouse.
Mitre 10 is proud to once again be associated with the Young Australian of the Year Award. The Mitre 10 Community Service Award recognises a very special young person who has made a selfless investment of time and energy to help others. Each of the three finalists has truly made a difference to our community, giving us great confidence in the future. Their caring, compassion and commitment are inspirational to us all. And this year's Mitre 10 Community Service Award winner is Kelly Farrow.
Mr. Geard, Honourable Ray Groom, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honour to receive this award, and I would like to thank the sponsors, Mitre 10 and the Commonwealth Bank for making this possible. I would also like to thank my mum and my father, my family, Richard and my friends, the Youth Committee, David Kaye, Burnie City Council, the Tasmanian Access Server, and all the other supporters of the conference who, without their help, I would not have achieved this honour. Thank you.
Art, our lives would be very empty indeed. Whether it's expressed through music, dance, painting, literature, drama, or any other form of artistic endeavour, art plays an important role in the evolution and recording of Australian culture.
Choosing to become an artist means putting yourself forward to be judged, so young artists need our encouragement.
Tonight's Medibank Private Arts Award aims to do that, while it recognises the dedication and creative excellence of our young artists.
Nominee, Fiona Stewart. After completing a fine arts degree in Hobart, Fiona Stewart, originally from Flinders Island, was awarded a scholarship to the Billy Blue School of Graphic Design.
I've always really loved art, and what I really wanted to do was make a career out of fine art. So when the opportunity came for me to study graphic design in North Sydney, I decided that whichever path I wanted to follow, that being graphic design or fine art, that one would enhance the other.
Fiona believes the work she does best is based on the environment that she knew so well on Flinders Island, using objects and putting them in a way other people will gain visual satisfaction.
In a society such as ours, with nearly every aspect dominated by technology and man-made construction and design, I'd like for my work to become part of a movement that returns to the wonder of the earth and the natural world for its source of inspiration and beauty in art.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fiona Stewart. Hi. So, how does a young artist promote your work, like, you know, throughout Australia or internationally?
Well, an artist has to be judgmental and critical of their own work and understand that not everyone who views your work is going to like it. And I think the most important thing about promoting your own work is to make other people confident about what you're doing, and to do that you yourself have to be confident. And overseas, artists are promoted by agencies, whereas in Australia they promote their own work and try and go in competitions to make their name known.
And create a different picture for a whole lot of other people. Thank you very much, Fiona.
Thank you.
Good.
Nominee, Joanne Hoare. Investigating notions of multiculturalism and imagery of the land are major topics of textile artist Joanne Hoare's work. Currently undertaking a master's degree in fine art, Joanne has many plans.
Eventually, I would like to be recognised internationally as a textile artist. That's my main aim. I also would like to get into either lecturing or curating as well in the gallery.
Joanne would like to see the diversity of cultures which exists in Australia be treated as one, believing we can then learn and gain from different cultures. She expresses these ideas in her work by combining different shapes, materials, colours and textures.
The favourite quote is, don't wait for the light at the end of the tunnel, strive towards it and light the thing yourself.
Please make welcome Joanne Hoare. Hi, Joanne. Got the podium there. Now, you say that there's quite a diverse cultures in Australia and so on. How has that affected your textile career?
Well, as a master's student, I need a research topic, and basically my research topic is working with multiculturalism and the role of women within a multicultural society. I also see that textiles goes hand in hand with this. Textiles is described, or it could be described as a metaphor for the diversity of Australian culture, as in each individual thread that builds up the fabric becomes one. I also had the opportunity as an undergraduate student as going through the University of Tasmania at Launceston campus with 4 other undergraduate students from different countries from all over the world, which helped in my own personal development, as well as making me recognise that we are a strong multicultural society. We work together now as Intertexture, basically building each other up as artists, textile artists in Tasmania, and also trying to promote textiles as an art form in Tasmania and Australia.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joanne. Lovely.
Nominee, Stephen Atkins. Stephen Atkins is a singer-songwriter. He decided to follow the path after studying a music degree and also a degree in theology.
And I've been full-time for about a year now, and travelled all over the country and basically singing and doing performances in various different concerts. Also released my first debut CD, which is called Love Never Fails.
Stephen believes it is possible to make a career out of an art form like music.
To be quite honest, the most important thing to me is my Christian faith. I would have to say that. It's one thing that I sing about. It's something that is in a lot of the songs that I write, although not every single one of them. It's certainly the most important thing to me.
Please make welcome Stephen Atkins. Okay. So, Stephen, what would you say your greatest motivation is as far as what you do?
Well, I suppose when I look at the world and I see around us, in a sense, we've lost our direction and we've lost a hope for the future. In effect, so often I think around society, particularly in youth culture, you just see a sense of hopelessness. And what motivates me to do what I do is to bring a sense of hope to people. And I find that because I believe in God, that gives me a great sense of hope, and it's something that I want to pass on to people. So that's what I'd say motivates me to do what I do.
Well, with such passion, where can you go wrong?
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Great. And now to announce the winner of the Medibank Private Arts Award, please welcome Ian Quaggan of Medibank Private. I got that right?
Thank you. Yes, indeed you have. Stephen, Joanne and Fiona, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. The Medibank Private Arts Award is a very practical way of showing support and encouragement to our young Tasmanian men and women in their individual pursuit of goals and careers. I guess we all know excellence doesn't just happen. It takes hard work, it takes determination, and a good measure, may I say, of heart, all of which our finalists possess. My best wishes go to the finalists tonight, Stephen, Joanne and Fiona, but alas, there can be only one winner. And I guess that's my pleasure now to announce the Medibank Private Arts Award for 1997 goes to Fiona Stewart.
I'm absolutely honoured to receive this award, and I'd like to thank Medibank Private and especially to Joanna Lawler and Robert Lawler for supporting me through the whole thing, and I'd like also to thank Katie Woodruff, Mr. Ralph Hobbs and Helene Weeding for teaching me all their skills. Thank you very much.
Each of the 7 award categories will be presented with a magnificent trophy and a $2,000 Streamlined Express account from the Commonwealth Bank. The ultimate winner, the Southern Cross Young Achiever of the Year for Tasmania, receives a Qantas Australian trip for 2 with 5 nights accommodation courtesy of Rest Point Hotel Casino. A further trophy and a $2,000 Streamlined Express account from the Commonwealth Bank.
Regional Australia is made up of industrial cities, small country towns, agricultural and farming communities, isolated mining towns and tourist resorts. Its combined economies are vital to the growth and prosperity of Australia as a whole. Throughout these regional areas, there are young men and women, dedicated young achievers, providing the needs of their community. Young Australians developing and caring for the health, the employment, the cultural and social well-being of regional communities. People providing vision and a commitment to that vision. In so doing, they are contributing to a stronger, more caring and prosperous Australia. Tonight, the Forestry Tasmania Regional Development Award recognises these exceptional young Australians.
Nominee Natalie Jenkins' decision to become an arts administrator was not a conscious one, but her love of theatre led her in the direction of arts management. She is now the administrator for Theatre North, Launceston, Tasmania.
Because it is theatre and it's creative, and I do have a creative side, but it's also management and business as well, and it's really, really nice for me to be able to mix the two, to mix that creative side and also that business side and not work one or the other, and I just find that, yeah, it's really good.
Natalie's attitude, energy and constructive relationship with the media have created positive results for Theatre North, giving the people of northern Tasmania a plethora of cultural events.
In places in Australia where distance is just huge and people aren't able to travel and see things, and they're missing out on so much. So I think just that whole access for regional area is really important, and it is developing, it's happening, it's great.
Ladies and gentlemen, Natalie Jenkins. Hi, Natalie. So how do you believe arts, how do you believe they can prosper a regional area?
Well, if you've got all night, I can probably tell you that probably. No, but seriously, I think it's really important that people realise that the arts give two major benefits to any region, and one of those is economically, and the other area, of course, is culturally. People tend not to realise how big an industry the arts is in terms of labour and employment. It is a very labour-intensive industry. You can never automate it. It doesn't matter what technology you use. You will always need people to run it. And therefore, it's creating a lot of employment opportunities and training opportunities for people. It also brings a lot of funding into regional Australia, which is very much needed in all areas. And the spending as well is also very important. The fact that people come into the area when you bring in touring companies in and they spend a lot of money in a region. The other side of it is culturally, which I believe is the most important. Every region has a diverse range of people, and if it's going to be, the society is going to be harmonious, then it is really important that everyone is catered for, and that there is a really good mix of social and sporting and leisure time activities, and culture is one of those.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Natalie.
Thank you.
There you go.
Nominee Shane Ranson. A rural background has given Shane Ranson an insight and passion into running a mixed farm. 21-year-old Shane is at present the Northwest TAFE farm manager.
It's been a great challenge. And I get so much out of the job too.
Shane takes his success in his stride.
It's probably more important as a way of life to me, not as a financial gain. It's a way of life. I get more out of satisfaction of working with stock and driving tractors and putting crops in the ground and watching them grow.
Spending time with student groups means Shane must know every detail about the farm to enable him to answer questions on a range of subjects.
I think of each job as it's a job, whether it be small or big. It's got to be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shane Ranson. So what aspects do you find really important as far as agriculture on the northwest coast?
Being placed on such good, rich cropping soils on the northwest coast and good dairy country, I feel the northwest coast plays a very, very large role in agricultural development. I also feel the Northwest Institute of TAFE plays a very important role as well in training our future farmers and agricultural personnel. I feel their role is very important as well. Finally, I'd like to urge banks, private companies, government to get behind and support farmers and the agriculture industry, because I feel they really need the support. Thanks, Kaye.
Thank you. Here's your card. Good on you.
Nominee, John Healy. Like his grandfather before him, John Healy makes quality cheese in the Pyengana region.
I went to Switzerland and studied cheese making in the Swiss Alps and lived with the Swiss cheesemakers and farmers, milked their cows and lived their lifestyle some years ago now. And after returning from there, I decided, yes, cheese making was instilled in my blood and I wanted to make cheese.
John would like one day to sell his cloth rind cheddar as natural as he can to the restaurant trade at 14 months to 2 years.
I think if we lift our production from last year, we made 13 tonnes of cheese. If we can get it up to about 30 tonnes and offer this age of cheese, then I think we should be sitting okay.
John's message from his grandfather?
What you got to do, boy, is you bite off a little bit more than you can chew, and you sit back and have a go at it.
Please welcome John Healy. No truer word has been spoken, huh? And you've got a good background to fall back on with that.
Yeah.
So how do you think you've contributed to your region and that area of interest?
I believe I've contributed to my region and area of interest by continuing a tradition of cloth rind cheese manufacture in the district of Pyengana, which dates back well over 100 years now. And the Pyengana Dairy Company now distributes cheese throughout Australia to the food service and restaurant trade. We also deliver our farm milk throughout a 450-kilometre radius on the north and northeast of Tasmania, and we're employing 9 people part and full-time out of the district of Pyengana. And I firmly believe that in this day and age, if we can get employment back into the regional districts of Tasmania, that's got to be a huge bonus to the economy of Tasmania. Thank you.
It's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So the finalists of the Forestry Tasmania Regional Development. And to announce the winner, Mr. Evan Rowley, Managing Director of Forestry Tasmania.
Thanks, Kaye. Forestry Tasmania continues this year to support the Regional Development Award. Tasmania's future depends on the sustainable growth of employment and wealth throughout the regions of this wonderful island. Young Tasmanians striving to achieve excellence in regional Tasmania are essential for a more prosperous future in Tasmania. From a very strong field of candidates, it gives me great pleasure to announce the winner for the Regional Development Award, and it's John Healy.
Well, this is certainly a surprise, and I know it doesn't look like it, but I guess this is about as close as I'm ever going to get to winning the Logie. It's funny, I know, but it's also true. That's a bonus. I'd really like to thank Forestry Tasmania for sponsoring our region, and I'd like to really thank my girlfriend Lyndall Harrison and her friends at Westpac and Launceston for putting the segment together for me. Without that and without her recognition of me, I wouldn't be here this evening. Moreover, I'd like to thank my parents very much for the support they've shown me throughout the growing phases of the cheese factory. I always found them to be my greatest critics, and if I could convince them that a product was going to work, and then in the next following couple of weeks, if they started to talk to me about this product and what a wonderful concept it was, then I knew that there were some other people out in the marketplace that were going to accept what I'd envisaged. I'd also like to thank my brother Gavin, who this evening's flown in from Switzerland, not only for this but for other reasons, but he was one of the big draw cards for me actually learning the cheese making art in Switzerland, and without that I couldn't be here. My brother Simon, who's a builder, him and I built the cheese factory over 12 months on our weekends. Without that, you know, it just doesn't work. My two sisters also support our little shop very, very intensively with homegrown produce. We like to support the Tasmanian market and offer the tourists something that is really homegrown and natural to our area. So again, thank you very much for this. It means a great deal to me.
Australia has always been a nation proud of its athletes, and our athletes have forever been proud to represent us. But when a nation knows it now has a date with Olympic destiny, pride means so much more. We were proud when Australia recorded its best ever Olympic results in Atlanta. We were proud of our hockey team, our rowers, our cyclists, our swimmers and our athletes. We are also proud of those who don't win. We are proud of the achievers. And it's the achievers who often become champions, because it takes a lot more than just talent to reach the top. It's about commitment, about accepting the challenge. Tonight, Hydro Sports Award salutes our 3 young finalists for their outstanding sporting achievements.
Nominee, Timothy O'Shannessy. Olympic cyclist Tim O'Shannessy started cycling when he was 10 years old. Since then, he has achieved many personal goals.
The Olympics, I think it was just sort of to know that, you know, this is only once every 4 years and one chance, so we had to do our best.
He believes the sport of cycling is a team effort.
At the end of the day, you know, it's a team effort and everyone has to put in 100%. So if we can do it in training, we can do it in racing.
And the future for Tim?
Well, I'd like to go to Sydney 2000. That's my main aim. And then I'd like to do coaching or, you know, put something back into the sport that I got out of. It was a pretty good feeling to walk on a plane and, you know, there's people sort of clapping and they were really proud of what you've done.
Please make welcome Tim O'Shannessy. Good on you. Come up to the mic. So, who or what was the motivation for you to take up cycling?
I think I was just riding around the backyard on a BMX bike. I enjoyed it so much and couldn't sort of really stop riding. And then my favourite cyclist was Dean Woods, and it was my main aim to get the Institute of Sport to be able to race with Dean.
And so now you've taken it much further than that, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. I've sort of been there and done that. So now it's to settle down and concentrate on the Sydney 2000.
Okay, best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Good.
Nominee, Scott Goodman. When Scott Goodman was young, he was an asthma sufferer. He took up swimming as a sport and discovered he was good at it. This led him to where he is today.
Oh, I like the thrill of competing, to try and do better than I've done before, just to see how much I can improve and see how far I can go in the sport.
Scott believes the most important message is practice. Try to find something you're good at and just keep doing it until it becomes easy.
I think when I got sick with glandular fever and missed a year of swimming, I think that was very important to me. So, you know, I matured a lot in that time and sat down and worked out my goals and plans. I think that was really the turning point in my swimming career.
The highlight of Scott's career so far has definitely been his bronze medal at the Atlanta Olympics.
I'm hoping to go to Sydney in the year 2000 and take a step or two higher on the medal dice if I can.
Would you please make welcome Scott Goodman? Hi. Well, asthma was a big one to overcome. What other obstacles have you found that you know, you've gone through in your career?
Yeah, I started swimming because I had asthma as a young child, but my biggest hurdle was when I suffered glandular fever. I missed a year and a half out of the sport, and you know, that was a really big setback for me. But to come through and win an Olympic medal is something that I'm very proud of.
Absolutely. So, what would you say to other people who say maybe have asthma?
Yeah, I think the swimming really is a good sport to do if you have asthma. It helps with the lung capacities and things like that. But you know, I don't think it really should restrict you.
keep going at it, you think?
Yep, that's right.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Thanks, Scott.
Nominee Daniel Sproul is the first male Tasmanian hockey player to represent Australia at the Olympics. His on-field and off-field demeanour is said to be exemplary. How did he come to play hockey?
I first started playing hockey at Mount Stewart Primary in grade 3, and I sort of followed it from there. First played for Tasmania in under-15s, and I came to Perth when I was represented to play for Australia in 1994. I think I didn't really choose this path, it sort of came along.
Daniel's enthusiasm and commitment to his sport has seen many highlights.
The major highlight was obviously this year at the Atlanta Olympics when we won a bronze medal. Before that was probably my first trip away with the Australian team in '94. I went to Pakistan, and we played in front of 55,000 people in Pakistan. That was amazing. And probably also my first game for Tasmania in under-15s when I was first played in Adelaide.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel can't be with us tonight, but is represented by Elizabeth Franks, Director of the Tasmanian Institute of Sport. Please make her welcome. Hello, Elizabeth. Good day. So, how did Daniel get into his chosen field?
I think most people thought that if Daniel was going to excel in a sport, it would be football, following in the footsteps of his father, Paul, a well-known VFL footballer and also a premiership-winning coach a number of times in the TFL. Daniel informed me that he started playing hockey at Mount Stewart Primary School because that's the only sport that that particular school was any good at. I think he found out that he was quite good at it too and went from being one of the best players in this state to one of the most valuable players in the 1996 Olympic team.
So a very valuable member too of the Institute of Sport.
Yes, he is. And if I could just say, Daniel did ask me to say that he's very sorry he couldn't be here tonight. With his training commitments in Perth and a new coach for the AIS team, it's been very difficult for him to get away.
Thanks very much, Elizabeth. If you'd like to receive this on his behalf. Thank you. We now have the finalists of the Hydro Sports Award with us. And I think you can see that if all categories tonight had a benchmark of excellence, such as sport, where all three finalists are Olympic bronze medalists, you can appreciate the talent we have here tonight in each and every category. It's great attitude and great endeavouring. So now, to announce the winner of the Hydro Sports Award, we have Dr. Dan Norton, Chief Executive Officer for the Hydroelectric Corporation. Would you please make him welcome?
Finalists, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as Tasmania's largest business, the Hydro has a vested interest in the future of our state. And that is why a major thrust of our sponsorship budget goes to supporting initiatives such as the Young Australian of the Year, initiatives which are aimed at developing and recognising our young people, for they are our future. The young people we've seen here tonight should be an inspiration to us all, and they give us every reason to be optimistic about the future of our great state. The winner of the sports category is Scott Goodman.
I feel very honoured to have won this award, especially considering the quality of the opposition I was up against in Daniel and Tim. I'd like to thank the Hydro for sponsoring this event, and just thanks to you.
Now, to recap the category winners for 1997. The Unilever Environment Award went to Michael Paxton.
Government and the community can come together, then that's where the real answers lie.
Congratulations to Kirsten Mann, winner of the Department of Employment, Education, Training and Youth Affairs Career Achievement Award.
So basically it involves providing technical computer support for our software products in the firm and developing various computer databases as well and computer programs.
Thomas Ibbott won the BHP Temco Science and Technology Award.
The
The main thing I've gained, I think, is experience and the opportunity to work on a big project and something that really is the forefront of technology.
The Mitre 10 Community Service Award went to Kelly Farrow.
The most I'm getting out of the work that I'm doing would be knowing that somewhere I've saved at least one life. One life is worth more than any time I could put into this. Any time that any money, any amount of money or time or effort, one life is worth way more than that.
Fiona Stewart took out the Medibank Private Arts Award.
I think if you live in the city, you're more likely to be influenced by other people's work, whether that's anywhere from painting to architecture. Where on the island, you're influenced by the natural environment itself.
The Forestry Tasmania Regional Development Award went to John Healy.
It's a great satisfying feeling to climb over these hurdles and to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
And congratulations to Scott Goodman, winner of the Hydro Sports Award.
My favourite saying would be, the most enjoyable things in life are something that someone else says you can't do.
Congratulations again to the Seafenings winners.
Now, the ultimate winner of the 1997 Southern Cross Television Young Achiever of the Year for Tasmania will receive a great prize package. Let's have a look at what they will receive.
The winner of each of the 7 award categories will be presented with a magnificent trophy and a $2,000 Streamline Express account from the Commonwealth Bank. The ultimate winner, the Southern Cross Young Achiever of the Year for Tasmania, receives a Qantas Australian trip for 2 with 5 nights accommodation courtesy of Rest Point Hotel Casino, a further trophy and a $2,000 Streamline Express account from the Commonwealth Bank.
Now, I promise I won't hold you up any longer. Ladies and gentlemen, to announce which one of these great achievers will be the 1997 Southern Cross Television Young Achiever of the Year for Tasmania, would you please make welcome the Honourable Ray Groom, MHA, Minister for Tourism, to the stage.
Well, thanks very much, Kaye, distinguished guests, our young achievers and their families, and ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be here tonight to announce the Tasmanian Young Achiever for 1997. As we all know, these awards recognise quality and excellence in our young Tasmanians. Young people showing tremendous initiative, drive and commitment in what they do, demonstrating extraordinary talent, and we've seen plenty of talent here tonight, and setting the pace in so many ways. There are many thousands of young Tasmanians from all walks of life who are doing outstanding things, some despite overwhelming odds and hardship. And tonight we pay tribute to all of them, not just those who have been nominated, and there's a record number, as we know, this year, but all young Tasmanians who display courage, determination, a desire to succeed, and who do their very best. We have every reason to be proud of our youth. And these awards allow all Tasmanians and all Australians to share in that pride. This year, for the first time, the Young Achiever Award and the prestigious Young Australian of the Year Award have been combined. So tonight's winner has every opportunity to achieve the greatest honour a young citizen of Australia can receive, and that is to be judged the Young Australian of the Year. I want to congratulate all of the winners and the nominees in each of the award categories. They've all done an outstanding job. And also thank you to the many sponsors for providing ongoing support to Tasmania's youth. We appreciate your efforts in acknowledging their hard work for rewarding initiative and supporting our leaders of the future. And now the moment has arrived. It's my pleasure to announce that the winner of the 1997 Tasmanian Young Achiever Award is Kelly Farrow.
you.
Oh, well, I'm going to do this. Thank you. Honourable Ray Groom, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honour to receive this award. I did not expect it at all. I would like to thank the sponsors, the Commonwealth Bank, Qantas, Rest Point Casino and the organisers for making this night possible. I'd also like to congratulate all the other finalists on their presentations. With this, this award gives me the encouragement to continue my work in the area. It will help me seek further sponsorship and registrations for the youth conference so that the voice of young people can be heard in relation to suicide prevention. Once again, I would like to thank the sponsors who have given me the ability and the encouragement to pursue my goals. Thank you.
Well done, Kelly Farrow, all our finalists, and thank you very much, Mr. Groom. Well, I think you'll agree, ladies and gentlemen, we have a great deal to be proud of tonight. We've been confronted with some wonderful young Tasmanians, and on behalf of every one of us, I'd like to give them our warmest congratulations. The 7 category winners, also to Kelly Farrow, the Tasmanian 1997 Young Achiever of the Year. The National Australia Day Council, the Australia Day Council of Tasmania, Southern Cross Television, and all of the patrons are honoured to be part of the wealth of talent here this evening. Unfortunately, there can only be one winner in each category. However, all of our young achievers here tonight are winners in their own right. Congratulations once again to each and every one of them. And until next year, thank you for supporting the Young Australian of the Year Awards and our great state's young people. Good night.